Hello beauties, how are you all doing? My name is Shaz, short for Shahrazad, and I love colorful makeup. We are going to do another to buy or not to buy video today. These are videos where I talk about new makeup and I tell you if there is anything I'm interested in picking up, if there are things I'm passing on, and I encourage you to write to me in the comments below what you think about the makeup that's coming out. If there's anything you want to pick up, if you have strong opinions about them, don't forget to put that in the comments below. Also today I'm going to do this eye look with two palettes from Beauty Bay. I usually do my eye look in this video with a brand that's coming out with a new thing. So this means that Beauty Bay is coming out with something new that I'm so excited to talk about. These are two palettes, the Sunset Horizon, that came out I think last year, early last year. I don't think it's available anymore. And their Dark Fantasy palette that is their end of 2022 palette that is still available if you're interested in purchasing any of these. If everything I said sounds good to you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Now let's go into the video. Okay, beauties, let's get started. I have my coffee. I don't have nails. I'm going to be using this from Juvia's Place. I prime to prime my eyes. Oh, this thing has so much oil in it. I literally have been trying to get the oil out. As you can see, my background is different, and the reason for that is because of all the insanity that's been going on in Texas. In case you don't know, we had a freeze. As a result of that freeze, my house has not had any utilities for the last 5 days, since Tuesday night. So today is Saturday. It got cold, we lost power, and I woke up Wednesday morning. Was it Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning? I don't remember, but one of those days I woke up and there was no power. And we haven't had power, which means there's no heat, and the oven wouldn't work, or the cooking range wouldn't work, because all of that works with electricity. There's no heat, so water heater wouldn't work. And then they were so afraid, because there was going to be a freeze and everything was going to be below zero. They were so afraid that they decided to shut off water, so there would be no pipes bursting. Now I'm kind of appreciative of that, because that would have just been yet another level of chaos, right? And I've talked about this in my other videos. I'll tag a couple of them. The Get Ready With Me videos. We've had that situation at my complex, and apparently it's pretty normal because Texas's just infrastructure is not built on things getting so cold. It's been crazy. I have literally been living at a friend's house pretty much. I got a message saying electricity is back, so I have to go to my house today, but I figured, as I promised, let me do this video before going there, and you never know. They already sent us a false alarm message yesterday saying electricity is back, and it wasn't, so hopefully it's back this time. But let's get started. I haven't done this in a while, so I feel like I'm getting a little rusty. As you saw in the intro, we're going to be using these two. And the reason I'm using that is because Beauty Bay is coming out with a new palette. I'm so excited about this. If you all have been watching my channel, you know I love Beauty Bay. I have quite a bit of reviews for Beauty Bay palettes. I think the quality is fantastic. I think they have gotten better over the years, and that is super exciting. I also think they have really good color stories at a fantastic price. So I highly recommend them. And as I said, they're coming out with something new, and I'm so excited about that. Nails are not done because of the whole mayhem that's going on. That's the last thing I'm thinking about. And in fact, I haven't put makeup on in a while. I haven't separated the restocks. I'm going to just talk about them in the middle of everything. I have purchased a few things that I've already talked about. So I purchased Lure palette. I already made an eye look with it in this channel. I will probably do a dedicated video with that palette. I also purchased the Adept releases, and I feel so proud of myself for not having purchased a lot of things, but we're getting to that part of the year where people have gotten over holiday times and now they're releasing new palettes. So Cosmic Brushes Friend is coming up with something new. They have briefly sneak peeked it. According to them, they put this palette on hold last fall because of the demand for Serenity, and friends, we all know Serenity. I mean, You must have lived under a rock if you've not heard of Serenity. I have a video with that palette in this channel and a lot of other videos just talking about it and also using it in to buy or not to buys. I can totally vouch for the amazingness of Cosmic Brush's palettes. I also have their other palette, something royal, a royal rose palette. I might do a video with that if you all are interested. It's interesting because this palette from the outside, it gives me kind of Valentine's Day vibes. But knowing that this was supposed to be an autumn palette, now I'm actually super curious to know what it's going to look like, because the outside doesn't look autumn to me at all. And I think Royal Rose was a very Valentine's Day palette. So I'm curious to see what this looks like, because I don't think they're going to dupe Royal Rose, right? Like, why would they do that? That makes no sense. Friends, you can be more or less guaranteed that if this is not like 90% neutrals, it's going to be purchased by me. Let's move on to the next thing that I saw. And I know I haven't talked about this brand in this channel pretty much at all, maybe a few times into my or not to buys. And that is Jeffree Star Cosmetics. They're coming out, as always, I think they do this every year, with Valentine's Day mystery boxes. They have two kinds. The deluxe, that's going to be essentially 63% off. It's $99. And the Supreme, that is 58% off, and it's $176. Deluxe is 12 items. Supreme is 16 items. So it looks like Deluxe is going to be more value for your money. Now, friends, I have done Jeffree Star mystery boxes in the past. Truthfully, Jeffree Star Cosmetics has pretty good quality. Like, I can't deny that. He's been associated with a lot of controversies, which is part of the reason why for a while I was just like, okay, I just don't want to be associated. I don't want to, purchase from him. I don't really want my money to go to his level of controversy. But some time has passed. I actually haven't heard of him in a while. And I was wondering if I should pick something up, because frankly, I haven't bought anything from Jeffree Star in 2 years at least. Last time I purchased a mystery box from him, I ended up getting the palette with all the naked people on it. I'm not even going to say the name. And that palette, if you know, is 100% neutral. It's literally a palette for contouring, I would say. Which reminds me, I should put that palette to sell it on Mercari or something. It's literally brand new in its box somewhere in my stuff. Which then means that I have not owned anything from Jeffree Star in the, anything he's come up with in the past 2 years. Because mystery boxes usually have things that were, they're not going to go that far back, I don't think. And actually in the disclaimer here, it says it has 4 new items in each box. I don't know, should I purchase? Another thing though that I'm not a huge fan of is that Jeffree Star does do like clothing and other things. To me, clothing that are Jeffree Star branded literally is an advertisement for Jeffree Star. So why would I do that? I don't understand. That would be the only detractor. I'm going to make a video about mystery boxes that I've done in the past and just my opinion of mystery boxes. I know some of you asked me to do it. I had mentioned, do you guys want to see something? And some of you said yes. So I'm definitely going to do that. And in that video, I can talk in detail about my experience with Jeffree Star mystery boxes, because I've done it more than once. Okay, friends, the next thing I want to talk about is the reason why we're going to be using these two beauties today, and that is another 20 pan palette that Beauty Bay is coming out with. This palette is called Retro Love. There is a matte black, friends. I was hoping and wishing that would be like a maroon or a dark aubergine or something. I think that would have been fantastic in a palette like this, but it's a matte black. Why? If you don't know and you haven't watched my videos in the past, I'll link a video here where I kind of rant about matte blacks and palettes. I think at some point people were upset that there was a shortage of matte black, I think. And as a result, in the past few years, pretty much every brand and their mother decided to put a matte black in every palette they released. Now we literally have an overflow of matte blacks. Like, nobody needs these many matte blacks in their lives. Anyway, this palette's gonna be $17, obviously within the range of Beauty Bay. Of course, I'm gonna purchase this palette. It came out when I was in Miami, I believe it was released, and I went online and added it to cart, and then I was like, I need some time to see if there's anything else I want to purchase from Beauty Bay. And then since then, this mayhem has been going on in Austin, so I haven't had a chance to do that, but it will happen. This palette will be mine. Moving on, friends. Oh yeah, and it's already available. If that wasn't already obvious from everything else I said. Moving on to the next thing, friends. I don't think I've ever talked about this brand. It's Salem Cosmetics Nola, and they have collabed with Smink. I'm gonna say her last name wrong because I don't know how to pronounce it, and I apologize for that. Beroende. This palette looks beautiful. It is going to be $50, but you can use someone's code to get potentially 15-ish% off. I'm sure Smink herself has a code. Hint, hint. I kind of want it. The outer packaging, the color story, it looks very pretty. Did I say how much it's going to be? It's going to be $50 with no code. So you guys can calculate and see what it's going to be with the code. It seems like Electrum Cosmetics is coming out with a series of quads. First of all, I have to say, these look nice. I'm a little bit impressed by how much I enjoyed looking at those marbled colors. Like, I wonder what they swatch like. I truly do. But at least in the photos that I've seen, the colors look very muted down. Like, I was expecting that dark green to be green. I was expecting the dark blue to be dark. And in that sense, there's a little bit of disappointment. But the outer packaging is so cute. The purple one has a little kitty on it, and it's so cute. And the brown one has a giraffe and a lion. It's just super cute design on the outer packaging. Okay, it says 100% of profits will be donating to 4 charities that supports the theme of the palettes. So the themes are, it says Rescue Firefly, which is the lavender palette, Nature, which is the mint green palette, Wildlife, which is the neutral colored bronzy, they call it bronze, it looks brown to me, palette, and the Ocean, which is the blue palette. Yeah, I think the name of the first palette is just Firefly, and I don't know why, because it has cats and dogs on it. So I'm guessing it's for just animal shelters or something like that. It's super cute, friends. I've talked about wanting to use Lethal Cosmetics. I do want to hear some reviews. I've heard mixed reviews about Lethal, so probably not going to pick this up because there are a lot of other things that I'm more excited about that are much more vibrant at the moment. The next thing, friends, is from Electrum Cosmetics, and they're coming out with 11 new super shifty, super metallic looking shades, at least from the swatches. It says the new shades are 20% off. So just letting you all know, if you want to pick them up, maybe you want to do that soon to get the discount. And it says they're already available and they're beautiful. I don't think I had picked Electrum as a brand I wanted to try this year when I did the video of the brands I want to try in 2023. But some of these colors are so gorgeous, like Lyra, the green to pink, or the gold to orange, golden hour, or even, is it Lowlight, the purple to blue? Of course, if they swatch like this. Okay, beauties, moving on. This has already come out, and friends, I kind of missed out on purchasing it because of the whole mayhem that was happening. Shroud Cosmetics is coming out, or has already come out, has already done the first release of their MoonFall palette. Now, I already have some of these colors. Again, they had released some of these colors as singles in the past, both the mattes as well as some of the shimmers. Now, if you have purchased some bundles from Shroud Cosmetics in the past, look in those bundles and make sure, before purchasing this palette, make sure you're not duping what you already have. However, they were saying that they have redone their formula and even the same colors as the one that they had released in the past are going to swatch differently. I wanted to purchase this palette for research purposes and compare the swatches for you all in this channel. Let me know what you think of that, because the few colors that had already existed in the past, let me see, like Artifact, Soulstone, and Night Song. I think I even used some of them in one of the videos in this channel. I have those, and although they're very beautiful shimmers, they are not duochrome by any means. Like, they don't have the shift from one color to another color. But it seems like here they do, and I would be okay purchasing this and just comparing the swatches. The palette is $45. You all know you can use someone's code when you're purchasing Shroud. Shroud is a good brand. I have reviewed some of their palettes in this channel. I can link them down below if you're curious, just to kind of assess my opinion of their quality. Let's go to the next one, and this is another brand that I've mentioned I want to use in 2023 that I've never used before, and that is Pink Crush. So we're entering the Valentine's Day realm, right? Because Valentine's is approaching. Today's the 4th, so it's 10 days away, and everybody and their mother is releasing Valentine's Day pinky vintage glam type look palettes, and this is one of those. Obviously the name Love Potion is Valentine's. I'm not going to pick this up because I have these colors time and time again in many palettes, and in fact what this reminds me of is a tiny palette I have from ColourPop 6-pan that I purchased, I want to say in 2018. And friends, I still have that, and that palette I have not decluttered because I love that palette, and I've made many a look with that palette, and I continue to love it, and I continue to use it. This release I think is already available. I don't have prices, but you can probably check on Pink Crush Cosmetics website, and don't forget to use someone's code. Pink Crush allows you to use code. Another thing that they have revealed at this point, and I talked about this last time, they had just sneak peeked it. They hadn't revealed the color story back then when I did my last video, and this is the full reveal of their Web of Deceit palette. And friends, I love the color story of this palette. I find it super fun and eclectic and beautiful. I don't know, this might become the first palette I purchased from Pink Crush. Palette's $41, and it's going to become available today. In fact, I think it says 1 p.m. CST. Is it 1 p.m. already? I don't know. But yes, it's 1:06. So it's available. It just became available 6 minutes ago. Maybe I'll purchase it. It's 12 pans. It's going to have 2 shimmers, 6 mattes, 4 duochromes. And you can use someone's code. Before I continue, let me get started. I'm just sitting here letting this thing dry. Okay, I'm gonna jump into Sunset Horizon. When I got this palette, I was a little bit confused by the color story, but as I started using it, I realized how beautiful this color story actually is. I'm going to go into this color called Reef, beautiful orange. Friends, I think this next one I talked about in one of my to buy or not to buys briefly. It had been sneak peeked, but the color story had not been revealed. And this is Berry Icy from Simply Posh. This palette became available January 30th. I don't have a price, but I'm sure you can go on Simply Posh's website and find the price for the palette. I also believe Simply Posh allows you to use code. So again, don't forget to do that. Friends, I love the color story. It's so pretty. But some of those blues and greens do remind me of their other palette. Fairy Tale Fairies, that was the name. And I have used it. I've already created a video with it that I have not put up in this channel, but it does look like it has some redundant colors to that palette. But I absolutely love the dark colors in this palette. The dark blues, the dark matte burgundies. Although the swatches look less dark than the palette photo, I could very well pick this up. We'll see. There are a lot of super exciting things coming out, so I really have to budget and see, but I do have to say that I really like how Simply Posh arranges its palettes. It feels like all of them follow more or less the same order in their color story, how they do, Rose having different colors so that you can kind of go up and down the row making a look. I like that because I think it helps people who might not know how to play around with colors have a guideline of what to do. The next thing I want to talk about, friends, I've talked about in the past at some level, and that is Clionadh Cosmetics' nail lacquers. They have recently restocked some of their nail lacquers, and they have a new nail lacquer called Gilding. This is available for $11 and it's going to be restocked. It says restocked, but it says a new color, so I'm a little confused. But regardless, it's going to be available on the 6th at 3 p.m. EST. I purchased the full Dragonfly collection or Dragon Fruit collection, and it came with 2 nail lacquers that I've used in the past and I've definitely enjoyed, and I've definitely thought about buying more nail lacquers from Clionadh. Clionadh is an amazing brand. It has amazing products across the board. However, although I'm not doing it today, I'm usually wearing press-ons, so it doesn't give a lot of opportunities for either painting my own nails or doing fake nails that I can paint. But I do that sometimes, so we'll see. I just don't know if I want to spend $11 on a nail lacquer that I'm going to use like twice in a year. Okay, beauties, the next thing I want to talk about are cake liners from Suva Beauty. Suva Beauty is known for its cake liners. They're coming out with 4 new ones. These are supposed to be the colors of Fiji. I have not been to Fiji, interestingly. I've been to Bali and Indonesia as a whole. These are going to be available on the 7th. It says at 11 a.m. I don't know what time zone that is, but the names are cute because the names are also names of Fiji. It seems like some of these are going to be UV, so I'm wondering if they're going to glow at night. And then some are duochromes. Now that we're talking about cake liners, let's also talk about Glisten Cosmetics. They are a brand known for their cake liners, but this time they're coming out with what they called Spectra paint, which are just cosmetic paints that you can use for any kind of cosmetics purpose. I feel like these kinds of things are more for the true makeup artist. I love doing makeup. I love doing my own makeup mostly. I can't really claim that I'm a makeup artist, but if you're a professional, this is probably your thing. These are available already, and you can use someone's code, and they're going to be $11 a piece. The next thing I want to talk about is from a brand I've never talked about before, Bomo Beauty. And this brand is releasing 2 4-pan palettes. The organization of the pans into the palette is one of those things that's going to give me OCD problems. It feels like it's wasting a lot of packaging. They're called Pretty and Funny Palettes. I only have a price that I think is for purchasing both. I don't know if you can purchase them individually. And the total price is $40, so it's $39 actually. And they're already available. $39 for 8 shades, friends. I feel like that's Natasha Denona level. So I don't know. If you've watched my channel, this particular video, you know that I have been thinking about using Notoriously Morbid in 2023. And this palette might be the one. They're coming out with a Valentine's Day collection, and with that collection comes a palette called Queen of Hearts. Now the palette is a little pricey. I think that's generally the case with Notoriously Morbid. It's $65 and it's a full metallic palette. As I said, you all have been telling me Notoriously Morbid has amazingly beautiful eyeshadows, so I feel like I'm gonna miss out if I don't pick something up from them. So this might happen to be it. And it's already available, so you never know. You never know. My no buy January is over at this point. So Notoriously Morbid is also coming out with a whole new thing, a new bundle of things for Valentine's Day. This is going to include non-makeup items, so body products, because Notoriously Morbid has a lot of body products. They're going to have bath bombs, they're going to have body bars, they're going to have a sugar body line. I don't know what that is. They are going to have wax melts and other things. So if this is something that looks interesting to you, frankly, kind of looks interesting to me. I love bath bombs. I just do. I don't use them as often as I love them. These are already available, and with Notoriously Morbid, you can use code, so don't forget to do that. What do I want to use? I'm going to go into this yellow a little bit, and I just want to diffuse the top part of the orange. Bella Cosmetics is coming out with a new palette. Again, it looks very Valentine's Day vibe with the heart-shaped sunglasses. I think this whole bundle is called It's Cherrylicious. It's coming out on the 7th at noon PST, and they say that this is their Valentine's Day bundle. I don't have prices. It's cute, very neutral. I definitely have this palette 200 times over in my collection, the colors I mean. So not for me, but it is cute. I've never used Bella Cosmetics. If any of you have used it, let me know what your thoughts are on the brand. Is it something you recommend? What I've seen from them is usually very neutral. It's very sort of, for lack of a better word, boring for my taste. So I've never seen anything from them that I thought, oh my God, this is so exciting. I want to have it. Friends, one of my favorite brands, Gloss Gods, is coming out with a few new things, and they call this their Valentine's Day collection. In this collection, they're gonna have your Forever Love palette. I don't think the palette is new. I've definitely seen this palette. Is this palette gonna like support something related to animals? Because the name of the palette is fur, like animal fur. They're gonna have 4 multichrome eyeshadows and 3 liquid blushes. I think the blushes and the eyeshadows are brand new to the brand. Maybe the palette is too, but I feel like I've definitely seen the palette. This whole thing is coming out on the 5th at 3 a.m. CST. Friends, with Gloss Gods, you can use someone's code. Don't forget that. They are one of my favorite brands. They have great products, and I've reviewed some of their products in this channel. I actually have another video with one of their products that I have not posted yet. So I want to just go more through the stuff that I have before I purchase more from a particular brand. Okay, beauties, I'm now going to go into the Dark Fantasy palette, and I'm going to pick another brush. I'm just going to go into this color called Grunge, and I'm going to put this in my outer V area. The next thing I want to talk about is Fenty Beauty's new release, which is called the Game Day Collection. This collection is coming out with Gloss Bomb lip luminizers and with some lipsticks. It seems like they have refillable lipstick sets, makeup sponge, face stickers, and a few other things, including the makeup bag. It looks like they might also have a palette in there. I don't own anything from Fenty, although I've heard amazing things about the brand. I just haven't seen anything from the brand that I thought I absolutely need to have. I love super colorful makeup, and Fenty is just not super colorful, and that's honestly the only reason, but I hear great things about their quality. Also, I don't know a thing about American football, so definitely the theme doesn't resonate. But if this is for you, I'm excited for you. This is already available, and the whole kit is $76. Friends, the next thing I want to talk about is from another brand that I think I'm going to be trying in 2023, and this looks like their Valentine's Day collection. I might have sneak peeked it last time, but it hadn't been revealed, and now it is. And it is the Lady Love eyeshadow palette from MBA Cosmetics. Palette's 6 colors, and it's going to be $23. Again, the palette reminds me of the palette I talked about from ColourPop that I already own, and I don't think at this point I have a need for yet another dupe for that palette that I have. But objectively, it's beautiful, and you can use someone's code with MBA Cosmetics. Also, this palette is already available. They are also coming out with another palette called Plush Palette, which is another 6-pan palette that is also super beautiful. When I saw this palette, and friends, I'm not a neutral lover, I definitely did a double take and a triple take and a quadruple take, and I'm Still looking at this photo because I'm like, this palette is gorgeous. Yeah, the colors are just very beautiful. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it. I don't want to jump into purchasing something that I might end up not using, but objectively, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's 6 shades, 3 mattes, 3 shimmers. Also, the color combination is nice. It has some dark things, some light things, but I wish it had a dark color. The two dark colors don't look dark enough for the types of eye looks I make. Okay, friends, the next brand I want to talk about, I don't think I've ever talked about in this channel before. It's called CXC Beauty, and the name of this palette is April Showers Bring May Flowers. It's 21 shades. It's going to be $60. It's already available. Not enough dark colors in this palette, although I'm eyeing the dark blue and the dark purple. But like all the light blues, like I just don't understand, why do you need so many light blues? Or those two greens, they just look too similar. Or the two shimmery light pinks, they just seem too similar to me. Or the three light purples. Yeah, I do see some redundancy. I also can't justify the price. You can use someone's code, so do that. You can get 15% off if you use someone's code. On top of all of this, friends, I've mentioned in the past, I'm not a huge pastel palette person because they wash my face out. So don't see myself picking this up. I still have my Glam Light Ice Cream Dream palette, I think is the name. That is the pastel palette for me, and I love that palette. And if at any point I want to use pastels, that's my go-to palette. So I'm gonna skip this. Don't need to spend $60, but if this is your thing, it's available, you can purchase it. Friends, the next thing I want to talk about is from Sigma Beauty. They're coming out, I'm guessing this is their Valentine's Day collection. It's called New Mod Mini Palette. 100% vegan, 100% cruelty free and clean. I don't think we've talked about these things in this channel, but I don't know what clean even means. Yeah, I wouldn't be fooled by these kinds of gimmicky names. The palette is 7 chic shades and yeah, 90% neutrals as it is with Sigma. Not my thing, but I do hear good things about Sigma's brand and quality. So if this is your thing, I believe it's already available and it's $30. Continuing with the Valentine's Day releases, Sydney Grace has announced its February bundle, which is obviously very Valentine's Day vibes. Even in the photo, it's obvious that this is Valentine's Day. With it, there is a lip gloss. Is it a lip gloss or a lipstick? It just says lip cream. It might just be like a lip color thingy. It's going to come with the cute sticker. I'm guessing it's that little envelope with hearts in it, with the highlighter as in the color Prism, as well as the lip shade in color Maya. It's super cute. It's $30. I have mentioned that Sydney Grace is a brand I like to try more of in this year. I don't think this is the collection or the release for me. Not colorful enough. I have enough of the nude to pink palettes and colors, but it can't deny that it is very beautiful. Friends, the next thing I want to talk about is 4 new super foil eyeshadow singles from Menagerie Cosmetics. I don't own anything from Menagerie. I don't think it's a brand that I've mentioned I want to try in 2023, but it is definitely a brand that I'm like, should I pick something up from them? These are $20 each. And honestly, even the swatches can't convince me to pay that much. They're available now. I don't know why they're that expensive. Friends, Shine by ST Cosmetics has much more shifty multichromes than at least what looks like in the photos. I obviously don't know. I have not owned these. I don't know how they swatch, but I do have a video of swatching my Shine by ST black base multichromes that you can check out if you're curious. And to me, they look much shiftier than this. Clionadh, same thing. Terra Moons, same thing. By the way, friends, Terra Moons has a buy one, get one free sale that is going on their website right now, and they're getting rid of some of their old colors. I have some of those colors, and I was going to do a swatch video, friends, for you all before this whole mayhem happened. So I haven't been able to do the swatch. I don't know when the sale is going to be over and if I'm going to have a chance to do the swatch before those things are gone. But I know their Barrio palette is going to be gone forever. It's on sale with all of the single shades in it and a bunch of other one of their singles. They're going to be gone forever and they're not going to be available anymore. So definitely check them out. If there's anything you are interested in, you might be able to snatch it for a cheaper price than normal. Okay, beauties, the next thing I want to talk about, I just want to spend 1 minute talking about, and that is this. Morphe is doing another sort of an artistry wardrobe release. They call this the Matte Essentials collection. I feel like this looks like every other thing they have released. There's nothing new in here. They're $20 for the large one and $13 for the smaller one. It's good to see that Morphe, although out of business and sort of having to deal with that, can still release things, because usually when companies are dealing with that kind of sort of restructuring, they put things on hold. I'm sure you all remember what happened with BH when they released their bankruptcy news. They usually just try to sell off all their inventory instead of even thinking about releasing new things. Okay, friends, this other one I'm super excited about actually, and that is Glaminatrix is releasing 4 holographic multichrome singles. And friends, these look absolutely beautiful. And although I've said don't do holographic, do less holographic, yes, I've said that. Here's the video for it. I don't want to see any more holographic. When I saw this, particularly the green, that green shade, friends, I want that green shade. And believe it or not, I even went on Glaminatrix Cosmetics because they had a buy one get one free. I think it ended yesterday. For their palettes. No, not a buy one get one free. They had a buy two get free shipping, and I'm still debating purchasing the U Beauty palettes. So I thought, I buy the U Beauty, I can buy another palette as a gift for somebody, and I buy these. And then I came to my senses and I said, no, girl, wait for their new release. You don't need anything this minute. You can wait, budget the money, and purchase it when they release that palette they have been sneak peeking for like 200 times in the month of January. If y'all don't remember what I'm talking about, watch my to buy or not to buy number 17 or 18. Super excited about these. Already available. As I said, I already added it to cart a couple of times. Don't have prices, but you can see on their website again. Glaminatrix is out of Australia, so prices might be in Australian dollars, so pay attention to that, because Australian dollars is worth less than US dollars, so the number might be higher. Friends, Ensley Rain is releasing 11 single shades as part of their Cosmic Dreamer Full Moon collection. If you all remember, they had a Cosmic Dreamer palette, and maybe it was just a collection of a bunch of other things, but there was a palette in it that they released some weeks or maybe a month ago. And when they released this, I thought it's the colors in that palette as singles, but that's not it. These are their own colors. And there's 11 of them, and they're already available. You can use someone's code with this brand. I do not have the price, but you can find the price on their website. And these look pretty shifty and nice. I just have way too many singles. Way too many singles, my friends. Okay, beauties, before I get too distracted, I'm actually going to now use this because this color is just so beautiful to be sitting there and me eyeing it without using it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of it here. And then I'm going to pick the same brush that I used for the blue color, and I'm going to look up and do my lower lash line like this. Friends, this is a newfound brand that I'm actually super excited about. I've talked about it in one of my past to buy or not to buys, I think number 18. And the name of the brand is Asgard Queen Cosmetics. I tried to figure out how I can purchase from this brand. They're coming out with this 6-pan palette, this 6-pan sort of singles together collection. They kind of bundled it together that you can purchase, and it's absolutely beautiful. The name of the red is Valkyrie. If you are familiar with the whole Asgard Queen, the name of the Asgard Queen is Valkyrie. So the only issue, because I was trying to figure out how I can purchase from this brand, is that it seems like this brand is made in Russia. And because it used to be available on Etsy, but because of the situation with Russia, it's not available now on Etsy anymore. Now, I do want to mention political situations have nothing to do with people, friends. So while I completely understand that war situation with Ukraine is absolutely insane, no country should be laying claim to a territory of another country. I don't support any wars, but I do want to say that people of a country can't be held responsible necessarily for the decisions of the politicians. People who have small businesses are hugely impacted. For better or for worse, I'm extremely familiar with the situation in Iran. Generally, the political situation is in Iran. People whose businesses have been dramatically impacted by the political situations because politicians together decide, yeah, we want to have a relationship with this country, and then someone can start a business, and then politicians one day just change their mind, and now that person who started that business needs to shut the business down, and it's very unfortunate for the people. And then of course for the consumers like us, it's very unfortunate because we can't have access to some of the things we would have been able to access because of the political situations, like perhaps purchasing from some of these brands that we like to purchase from. Another brand that I mentioned in my other video that I like to purchase in 2023 or try in 2023 is Sigil Inspired, which is also produced in Russia, and it's unknown where you can purchase it these days. Now, the same brand is also coming out with other things you can purchase. Again, $32, 6 pans, beautiful color stories, and I'm absolutely excited about these. I don't think they have names. I have a name, but I don't know if this is the name of this palette. So the name that I have, because they had made an announcement saying they're restocking their Land of Veneer and Nyon, God, I'm gonna get this wrong, Nyohoger palette. I think maybe those are two palettes. One is Land of Veneer, perhaps it's this one, and then Nyohoger might be this one. And friends, I'm excited about possibly trying both of these, but unfortunately no access. And these are priced at 32 and 34 US dollars. Very unfortunate that we have to be living in a world where with all the globalization that we see, we still can't have access to certain things. Friends, I briefly talked about Shine by SD. They are coming out with a Valentine's Day box. Actually, they had come out with this Valentine's Day box and it was released sometime end of January. It's just I haven't been posting. But right before this video, I checked and you can still purchase this. It has a 6-pan palette and 4 singles, 2 iridescent glosses, and a mini body butter. You can use someone's code with Shine by SD, and they do say that if this runs out, they're not going to be restocking it. The price that I have is $71. And as I mentioned, I checked, it's already available. Another thing that they're releasing, and this is kind of exciting, is their Earthborn collection, which is a collab between themselves and Seeking Shifts. This is a bundle that you can purchase, the total bundle at 179 USD. It's 240 Canadian dollars. Shine by SD is a Canadian brand, which is why their US conversion is not exact. It's actually, might come out to 180 US dollars. If you want to buy the single shades separately, they are $18 each, and they have already launched on January 27th. You can use someone's code, hint, hint, maybe Seeking Shifts codes or someone else's. I don't have a code with Shine by SD. Trust me, the day I do, I will post it here. And in case I forgot to mention, there are 10 single shades in this bundle. This looks very exciting and nice. So excited for Seeking Shifts. Congratulations to her. I know she's an Instagram influencer. I don't know if she has a YouTube channel, but many congratulations to her. I don't know if I'm going to pick this up. I feel like at this point I have enough Multichrome singles. There's a lot of things I want to do that I haven't had a chance to do, and I don't want to keep purchasing new products until I do everything that I want to do with my current single shades. Let's go into NYX's glitter primer. I want to put a little bit of this on my eyes. I'm just going to put this here and here. And before I continue, I am going to go into this color. This is an absolutely gorgeous color. The name of the color is Distortion. It's a very sort of a unique, I want to say duochrome shade. I've talked about how much I enjoy this color in the video where I reviewed this. I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning. I have a review of this Dark Magic palette, sorry, Dark Fantasy, I keep calling it Dark Magic palette in my channel. I will tag it below for you. I'm just gonna put this. The next thing I want to talk about is Bloma palette, or maybe it's Bloma palette from Linda Hallberg Cosmetics. Nice Valentine's Day type of palette. It's $43. It says it's coming soon. I'm not into these color stories. I feel like we kind of already mentioned how I feel about the Valentine's Day color story. I feel like it's been done 200 times already. At this point, I like someone to come out with a new take on Valentine's Day. So if someone comes out with that, similar to Hint Hint Beauty Bay, that would be what I would buy. And the reason I'm saying Beauty Bay is because they called this palette the Retro Love, and they usually come out with a Valentine's Day palette this time of the year. So this is their Valentine's Day palette. The next thing I want to talk about, friends, is Pat McGrath's Valentine's Day release. She has 3 eyeshadow palettes of 6 pans. This looks very similar to her Bridgerton release, and I saw all of that collection at TJ Maxx on sale. Completely brand new inbox, untouched. This is coming out with 2 blushes and a bunch of other things beyond just the eyeshadow palettes. Not my thing. Pat McGrath is just ridiculously expensive. Only the eyeshadow palettes are $65 each for 6 colors. And they are all pretty much just neutral mauve type colors. Obviously, now that we talked about Pat McGrath, we also have to talk about Natasha Denona, friends. She's coming out with something also, the Love Face palette. So this is, I guess, a take of their Love palette mixed with some face stuff. If you just want one thing to go on vacation with, this could be your thing. Let me see if I have a price. Is already available and it's $74. It seems like now you can use code for 15% off from Natasha Denona. So just letting you all know. I'm wondering if you have to purchase it from a particular site to get that deal. Maybe Natasha Denona only, or could you do it from Sephora? I don't know, but not my thing. Already mentioned that. And also, I'm not too stoked about Natasha Denona. I think it's insanely inflated prices for not a good enough reason. I'm gonna very slightly go into this color called Bikini, and I'm using it to diffuse the color on my lower lash line. Friends, Glamlite has sneak peeked their next collab. This looks like it would be something galaxy themed, but then also cartoon, not real, not movies, not like Star Trek or something, but something cartoonish. Let me know what you think. The next thing I want to talk about, and yes, we're not done. Can you believe that? I mean, I've been away for a couple of weeks, right? So the next thing I want to talk about is from Playing in Makeup by Yolando. She is releasing the Jamrock 2 palette. I believe we've talked about Jamrock 1 in this channel. Gigantic palette, a little all over the place. Looks like it has way too many dupes. So many pinks and a good number of blue purples. Even the 2 light purples look the same, kind of. Yeah, too many unnecessary dupes. You know how I feel about palettes this large. It has 30 shades. It's already available. I don't have a price, but I'm sure you can find it on their website. But not for me. This reminds me of that release from Jeffree Star, the Jawbreaker, which was, I think, 2018. So I feel like it's a little bit been there, done that. She's also releasing something else. This one is also available for $75. It's an all duochrome palette called Paint Me Chrome, and it is 14 shades. $75 for 14 shades. That's a lot. But you can use someone's code, friends. I'm gonna go into Hack, and I'm gonna put this beauty in my inner corner. I feel like soon I need to go get something to eat because we've been here for God knows how many hours. But the next thing I want to talk about is ColourPop's release of the year, month, whatever. And I believe this is being released for Target, and that's this whole collection called Once and a Floral. I think that is probably a take on Once and For All. ColourPop always does the puns on, play with words and all that. I have a lot of their 9 pans, so no need for any of these. I have the Mint to Be, I have both of their purple lavenders. I don't have the peach, but don't need any new monochrome 9 pans. But I'm liking these, particularly for Target. I feel like, these are kind of muted down for the average audience. This is nice. They're all available, regular ColourPop prices. So don't have a color price for the whole thing, but it's available if you want to purchase it. Anyway, friends, moving on, and this is the last brand I'm going to talk about. Yes, we're approaching the end finally. Friends, if I haven't talked about this in a while, Saints, Angels, and Sinners has a whole lot of stuff. They are re-releasing a lot of their older palettes. Some of these palettes I had and I thought they're no longer available, so maybe now I pull them out and do some looks with them. So their Zodiac palette, their Best Buds, Cupid's Arrow, Kazi. What else? They now have a new palette called Dollhouse, Get Lucky, Xanadu, and a bunch of other palettes. So definitely check her Etsy site if there was a palette you wanted from the past and you ended up not being able to pick up because she kind of ran out of them. She also has all of her Earth Baby, the Elements Baby palettes on the website at this point. Also, she has announced a new palette called Jewels. And friends, this palette is pretty. And interestingly, this looks very similar to the Simply Posh palette that we just talked about, the Berry Icy. Very nice. I'm liking this. Okay, beauties, I'm back. I put this Ultra Blotted Lip from ColourPop in Scenic Route. I think this might still be available, but I put this on my lips. Thanks for being here with me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoyed my channel, don't forget to subscribe before leaving. Also write to me in the comments below if there are any of these palettes that you're thinking about picking up, or if there are any of these palettes that you have a very strong opinion about. I love to hear from you. Thanks again, friends. I love you all. Have a fantastic weekend, and until next time. Bye.